Good evening, everybody. I just wanted to jump on here and share a little bit about my story. It's quite a long journey, but I enjoy telling it because I enjoy helping others find the healing that I found. And what better group to do this in than in a shred group where y'all are jump-starting your health journeys. So let's start at the beginning. About 12 years ago, I was diagnosed with Crohn's disease, which is an immune disease with chronic inflammation. It was a 2-year long diagnosis process with a lot of intense medical intervention and treatments and trials and figuring out exactly what was wrong with my body. I was sick all the time. I literally had no immune system because it's an immune disorder and it's inflammatory. So my body had nothing to help itself. It was just very sick, very ill. I had daily pain from the inflammation. Literally whatever I would eat, healthy or not, would hurt and make me sick. And it was just a devastating way to live my life as an 18-year-old who just graduated from high school and was trying to be the typical college student moving out on her own for the first time. It was devastating to know that I couldn't be normal, whatever, if there really even is a true normal out there. But watching my friends get to go out and have fun and do typical college student stuff and not have to worry about, if my body's going to give out on me and if I'm even going to have the energy to get out of bed. So it was tough. So not only did my Crohn's tear my gut apart from the disease itself, but I was also being torn apart and just annihilated on the inside from all the medications that I was having to take. At one point, I was up to 68 pills a day. Yeah, 68 pills a day. I always get asked, really, 68 pills? Like, you're not exaggerating? No, literally 68 pills a day. It was just insane. And then of course, those pills were supposed to heal and they were supposed to get rid of my symptoms when really all it did was add symptoms because there were so many side effects that came along with those pills. So I fluctuated with weight. I would, used to think as gaining weight, but really it was just my inflammation was getting worse. And then I would lose a lot of weight, lose that inflammation, fluctuation. And so it was just this back and forth, which was devastating to my self-esteem as well. I started to lose my hair. I had bald patches underneath back here. I was very self-conscious about that. My eyelashes were very short and not, hey Sharon, were very short and almost non-existent. And I have red hair and blonde eyelashes. So when I couldn't put mascara on, I really thought that I looked like a ghost because I did. I looked like a ghost with no mascara on. I had no energy. Those were the physical things that were happening. The emotional things that were happening because of my disease were things like embarrassment, because when I got sick, I had to find a restroom or I would get sick all over myself. I can think of tons of stories to tell. I'm not going to take up your time doing that, but tons of stories to tell of moments where I was literally sick in public and it's embarrassing because I didn't know how to control my body and I didn't know how to fix it. Anxiety was a big part of that. And then with that came depression because I wasn't able to live the life that I wanted to, that I knew that all of my friends were living. So I had that emotional toll as well as the physical toll from my illness. Fast forward, so I was getting diagnosed in 2007, 2008, and diagnosed, I think, in 2008 for sure. But fast forward to 2016, I'd had my first 2 sweet little boys. I was experiencing some symptoms while pregnant, but way less severe than when I wasn't pregnant. But then, of course, when I would have the baby, my body would go through shock because literally my body had a baby. So that's shocking enough to a healthy body. But then to one that is sick, I wasn't able to heal as well. I experienced a lot of issues with that. And then a lot of issues of just afterwards, just not being able to keep myself healthy, which was devastating because I'm trying to be with these two sweet little babies and these little boys who are growing up, and I'm missing moments with my 2-year-old and my newborn and watching them have their firsts, and I'm missing them because I'm sick and I am not in the room. I'm in the bathroom getting sick, and that was then adding to all of the emotional toll. So I had my first 2 sons. I was dropped by my gastroenterologist actually because I refused to take Remicade or Humira. The risks were just not worth it to me because I knew I wanted to have more babies. And once you start those severe medications, you can't stop them because your body won't accept them anymore. And so then they just move you on to the next one and then the next one. And I didn't feel comfortable putting that type of IV drug in my body, safe for pregnancy or not, because I didn't want my unborn child to have to possibly reap the ill benefits of those. And so I told my doctor I didn't want to do it, and she dropped me as a patient, and I was no longer allowed to see her or anyone in her practice. And that was devastating to me at the time because at that time, I thought that was my only way to heal and my only way to get better. In 2016, I lost one of my best friends from complications from the same illness that I have from Crohn's disease. And it was devastating to me. And that was the first time that year was the first year I tried Juice Plus for the first time because his story shook me to my core, and I knew that I had to do something now because I couldn't leave my babies. And I couldn't leave my husband without a wife and my kids without a mom because of my illness. And so my best friend Charlotte reached out to me, and she's been doing Juice Plus for a while now, and she'd been bugging me about doing Juice Plus back in 2016, and of course I'm Irish and stubborn, so I said no a lot. But I finally was like, okay, let me give it a try. So I tried it, and it didn't work. And I said, you know what, this isn't for me. It's not working. I'm still having issues. I don't feel good still, so I'm just going to stop. So I stopped. The problem was I didn't know how to hear my body. I didn't know how to decipher what my body was trying to tell me. And at the time, I started on the trio, and I started it all at one time. And it was a lot for my body. I mean, I didn't get sick just overnight. It took a long time for my body to get sick. And so thinking that I could take 3 capsules and I would be fine was just a misunderstanding on my part. And so I really missed out in 2016 when I stopped taking Juice Plus and not trying to figure out how to do it the right way. So then fast forward again to 2018, 2017, I had my 3rd son, and in August, an emergency C-section during a hurricane, Category 5 Hurricane Harvey. Hello, Houston. Yep, that was me. Rushed into the hospital through flooded waters trying to get there, and he was a 10-pound baby who flipped during labor, and it became an emergency C-section and easily became one of the most traumatic moments of my life. And so that caused me some more anxiety. I had a little bit of PTSD with that, trying to get over the shock of what had happened to me, and it didn't go as planned. And my other 2 kids, I popped out in one push, and so I naively thought, oh, well, my 3rd one will just fly out, right? And that's obviously not what happened. But because of my C-section and because of my inflammatory disease, I had a lot of issues healing, because it's just not an ideal situation. I already have a lot of inflammation down in that region of my body and my torso and my gut, and if you slice into that, that's not going to help it at all. So I was dealing with severe anxiety, PTSD, and I had suffered some postpartum depression with my first son, and I could feel that coming on with my 3rd. And so I reached out to my best friend Charlotte again and said, okay, I'm done. And I have to try something. And you know what? Why not try again? Instead of why try again, why not try again? What do I have to lose? I had nothing to lose. I was at a bottom for me. And so this time I started slow. Instead of taking all 3 capsules at one time, I took just the berries for a solid month. Those berries, that berry blend, is so anti-inflammatory that it helped tremendously. And I was able to then add in half a dose of reds, working my way up to a full dose within another month. And then starting the veggies, I think I started the veggies about 5 months into my journey with Juice Plus. That is how slow I took it. And I was able to use the coaching of Charlotte and a couple of other Juice Plus ladies that really helped me through it and helped me decipher what my body was telling me. It was really awesome to see how my body had changed at the 4-month mark. At 4 months, our cells regenerate, and we can see that healing. We can start to see how much our body really gets once those cells start regenerating, and we feel that huge difference. So, my encouragement to anyone right now struggling, if you're just starting out on this journey, don't get discouraged. It takes a long time. Your body doesn't get the way it is overnight. It happens over time. And so your healing is going to happen over time. It's not going to just happen overnight and in 2 weeks. And I really had to learn that, and I had to give myself grace, and I had to realize that I needed to spend the time on myself, and I deserved to spend the time on my health and invest in it. And this way just was really, it was really the most simple, most realistic way that I could get the nutrition my body needed. So some things that Juice Plus helped me with was my anxiety and depression. It improved significantly. My anxiety went down a lot. Because the thing is, and I just recently learned this, but your serotonin levels are part of what go into anxiety and depression. And yes, those are in your brain, but it's also in your gut. That hormone is made in your gut too. And so if your gut is unhealthy, those levels will be unhealthy. So if you're working on healing your gut, you're in turn going to be able to start to heal yourself of those things as well, because everything originates with the gut. If it's healthy, if your body is healthy and able to fight for itself the way it was designed and created to do, then you're going to be able to find some relief from some of those issues that you suffer from. My hair grew back. My lion's mane, as I call it now. My curls came back, which was awesome because I don't know if you can see, but my ringlets are back, which was cool because I always loved having curly hair, and I'd lost that when I first got sick. My eyelashes are back. It's been just really great. More energy, no more pills, no more 68 pills a day. It's been awesome. And I think that the biggest relief is that, I think the biggest relief for me was that I didn't have to know exactly where every single bathroom was in every single place I ever went. It's actually a joke now. We'll go somewhere and my husband will say, "Hey, where's the bathroom?" And of course I'm like, "I don't know." And I take so much pride in saying, "I don't know, go find it." Because I don't have to know. And I don't miss things with my kids anymore, which is huge for my mama heart, because no mom likes to miss what's going on with their little kids. And it does so much for me to know that my kids, since I'm taking Juice Plus, they get to eat it for free too, because I eat it. And that is preventing them, because Crohn's disease could be genetic. They don't really know. They don't know a lot about this disease, unfortunately. And so I am doing all that I can to prevent them from having these same issues and same struggles that I have. I just hit my 1-year mark with Juice Plus on January 8th, and I'm so excited. So I'm still kind of like a newbie, but I've had so much experience in the last year It's just crazy to me. Charlotte asked a question. Are you able to eat foods easily now that you couldn't prior to? Yes. My stomach can digest salad. It was never able to digest salad. I can digest like spinach better. I can digest kale better. I can digest vegetables better. Those were the toughest ones on my body. Fruits don't upset it doesn't upset my stomach anymore. I'm literally 9 months. I have been very little to no symptoms. So, it's been truly an awesome experience that in the last 9 months, I've been able to feel, normal or whatever that may be, but a new normal for me that's so much better, that's allowing my body to actually process the food. So now that my body's able to process the food, because of the healing it's undergone, my body's able to absorb that nutrients so much better and more naturally. And it's just been a whirlwind, but it's been amazing. But, yeah, food is much easier to, I'm seeing people's comments now. It's much easier to digest now, and I can feel it in my body. I can feel it in my gut. So a little bit about the shred, because this is the shred group. This is actually my first shred. Yay! Like, way newbie to the shred. And it's really just enhanced those feelings of like a clear mind, more energy, less inflammation. I love feeling the loss of that inflammation. It just makes you feel so free and just so light. And that's really huge for anyone. Obviously, I'm not perfect. Some days get away from us. My husband is stationed 2 hours away, and I work 3 jobs. I am a full-time high school English teacher. I'm a Disney vacation planner, and I do the mission with Juice Plus now. How can I not share what I've found with them? So of course I said yes to the mission. And so working 3 jobs with a husband who's gone a lot, I'm not always perfect, and that's okay. You have to give yourself grace, because every day is a new day, and you just do what you can and you start over, and it's fine. Because progress is what it's about. It's about progress and learning. It's about the process. The beauty is in the process. It's just like, it's cheesy, but it's what I tell my students about writing. The process, it's about the process, not the product at the end. It's not about the end result. It's about the process and what you learn about yourself. And I've enjoyed learning about my health and myself over this last year. And it's just been a beautiful journey, and I can't help but share that with everyone. And so I think I've been on here for a while. I'm not sure how long, but I'm more than open to answering any questions. If anybody has any questions that they want to reach out to me about my journey and my experience with an inflammation disease and immune disease, I would love to talk to you and love to give you some perspective and help you with your journey too, because like me, you can find healing. Your gut is not unhealable. It is healable. And you just have to listen to yourself. You have to be able to commit to bettering yourself, not being perfect, but working on yourself, and your health is worth it. And so I saw some posts today where people are struggling, and they're like, oh my gosh, I don't know how you guys do this for so long. Just keep going, because none of us are perfect. And that's the beauty of all of this group and this support, is that everyone understands that, and everyone loves you and wants you to be healthy. And so I just encourage you to keep going, find your healthy. And we have a question. I do take, that's a good question. Jennifer asked, do you take the capsules or the gummies? That was a huge part of my journey. The first time in 2016, I did take the capsules, and I fully believe that was part of what was so hard on my stomach, because my body couldn't handle the probiotics that are in the capsules. So the second time around, I started with the gummies, and I've been, I actually have been was on the gummies for a whole year. And I just started taking the berry capsules. I still take the fruit and veggie gummies. And I'm trying to wean myself onto and phase myself onto the capsules. That's just a goal of mine. I would like to get myself enough healing to be able to do that. And so it's a slow process. I also just started the Omegas a couple weeks ago, and I can already tell a huge difference with those two, which are capsules. But I would say that what helped my gut healing to start out strong was using or eating the gummies and then phasing onto the capsules, if that makes sense. The gummies truly did help my situation. Check the questions. I don't want to miss anybody's question. Well, I'm going to wrap it up, but if you have any more questions, please feel free to message me, to Facebook me, whatever, add me as a friend. We can all use more friends, right? So let me know, and happy shredding, everyone.